Hi, this video is to give you hope that you can fight C. diff and you can fight it naturally without taking antibiotics. And the reason I know this is because I did. To make a long story short, I contracted C. diff after a round of antibiotics for a kidney infection. 8 days after I finished the course of antibiotics, I started having very loose stools, couldn't hold them, and later on got some stomach cramping. I was using the restroom probably 10 to 20 times a day minimum. 20 is really where it was at mostly. Finally, I went to see a doctor. I don't like to go to doctors, but I was desperate and I didn't know what to do. She immediately told me I had C. diff without even testing the stool, but we went ahead and did the stool sample, and sure enough, it did show that I had C. diff. I was shocked and surprised, and as an RN, I'd only seen it in the hospital. I'd not known anyone who just taking a course of antibiotics in their home would get C. diff, but I did. So though she strongly urged me to take a course of antibiotics and wanted me to take the vancomycin since I was breastfeeding, I asked her for a week. And I told her I'm going to take a week and I'm going to do some studying to see if I can fight this naturally. Well, in the meantime, I did a lot of research, and a lot of it I'm going to link below. But one research in particular, one study showed that vancomycin and turmeric worked equally as well in fighting C. diff. And the route in which it was given was through enema. So I went ahead and tried turmeric enemas for 14 days. I'm on the other side, and I know that they worked, and they work surprisingly well. Usually after you do a course of antibiotics for C. diff, you wait several days before you do the actual stool test again, because the spores of the C. diff, which are very, very strong, they're very robust, don't always die off that quickly. Well, I did my stool test after the 14 days of turmeric enema that I did, just a day after, and my stool sample came back negative. So I was elated, of course. So I am telling you that doctors will tell you you have to do antibiotics. And I believed it, but I at least wanted to try something else in the meantime before I went the antibiotic route. And the turmeric worked. And turmeric enemas are what truly worked. The protocol, I'll just say it real quick, was to do twice a day turmeric enemas. And the morning consisted of iodine enemas, 2 of them, and then the turmeric. So what I would do is I'd take 8 ounces of warm filtered water and put iodine in from 6 to 12 drops until the water turned the color of the iodine. Not real strong, but I could see the iodine in the water. And I would insert that and hold it for 5 minutes the first time and then expel it. And then the second time I would do an iodine enema the exact same way with 8 ounces of warm water and as many drops of iodine as it took to have the water colored. And I would hold that one for 10 minutes and then I would expel it. Next, after the iodine enemas, I would do the turmeric enema. And actually what I would do is take the 8 ounces of warm water with a teaspoon of turmeric. I would insert it, and then I would go lay down flat on my bed and hold it for a half an hour. If I wasn't able to hold it for the half an hour, I would just expel it and go about my day. If I was able to hold it for a half an hour or even more, I would just hold it in and go about my day. So I just knew half an hour was really my goal, and that's based on a study I read. So that's what I did twice a day, as close to 12 hours apart as I could. Sometimes it was 8 or 10, but usually 12 hours apart. And I did that for 14 days. And I'll be honest, I probably skipped a dose or 2 in that 14 days, but I was still pretty regimented. Also, my diet changed because everything I ate was going through me. So yet again, I found another link another website that talked about the diet to eat for C. diff recovery, but I thought, well, I'm feeling confident. I'm recovering from C. diff, so I started that diet. And that will be linked as well, but it included things like brown rice tortillas, almond butter, miso soup. I also drank turmeric tea, and I'll link that as well. It's just basically turmeric and warm water and coconut milk, as well as a sweetener and some coconut oil. So let's see, I also did a probiotic. I spent a ton of money on probiotics during this time, but the one that was most effective for me, and as you'll read in the research you do, is Sacchromyces boulardii. Sacchromyces boulardii is actually a yeast, but it's a good yeast that feeds your gut and it fights C. diff. So I started taking that about at the end of my turmeric enemas, my 14 days. So in a nutshell, that's really what I did. This video is for those who are desperate like me, searching for any help that they could find in combating C. diff without taking the antibiotics. If the turmeric enemas wouldn't have worked, I would have gladly taken the antibiotic. But I at least want to give hope and one piece of anecdotal evidence that sure enough turmeric enemas do help to kill Clostridium difficile, C. diff. A couple minor points along with this, but they're not really minor, is turmeric stains everything. So be careful where you put the spoon you mix the turmeric in. When you do insert the turmeric water in the enema bucket, make sure that you lay a towel and a plastic bag or something underneath you when you lay on the bed for staining purposes. So that's something to consider. Otherwise, you'll have everything yellow stained. Another thing that is very important is sanitary practices. Bleach is all that kills C. diff, because C. diff spores can live outside the body and on surfaces up to 5 years. So we made a bleach solution every day, because the bleach solution actually only lasts 24 hours. And we would make a bleach solution every day, and then I would bleach the bathroom that I used and bleach anything that I touched or whatever, because I had 5 children and a husband, one of my children being a newborn, that I did not want to get C. diff. So sanitary practices are key as well. Obviously, having people into our home, me going out, was a big deal. I did do it, but it was very rare during this time, during the 2 weeks of the treatment, as well as before and afterwards, when I knew I still, well, beforehand when I knew I had C. diff. So I hope this video helps you. I hope you can take this video and use it to empower yourself and kill the C. diff that can hurt, and it does hurt so many people. And I hope and pray it's not something that is well known right now, but I know turmeric is gaining some recognition to doing all kinds of things as far as killing disease, and one of them it does kill is Clostridium difficile. So all the best in your fight to be C. diff free. Thanks.